Old habits die hard. We're going to do both math workshop questions. Then we're going to do 2 ACT prep questions. So if you still have where you wrote down those couple ACT questions we ran over the other day, you can get those back out. Okay, I'm looking for a volunteer to help me with my math workshop. Does someone want to volunteer on number 11? Yes, table 3. Okay, he got 3 people. Yeah, table 3 can have a point. Are there any other volunteer answers? What did you say?
Oh, no, nothing. Delaney had gotten 2.
Delaney had gotten 2. We're going to give you a point. So now we're going to reach the debate that I've had every class period. Is the answer 3 or is the answer 2? Is it 3 or is it 2? So we're going to need some math to back up this assumption that you have. Does anyone have any math to prove that the answer is 3 or 2? Yes, table 5. Table 4. Yes, table 4. Sorry, can't count. You have the math to back up something.
I did 69 minus 30, you got 66. And then I subtracted the 22 players.
Yeah, and now what?
And then I divided it by...
You divided that by what? Okay, table 4 can have their point. There's a free point available. Can you help her finish her thought? Yes, table 3.
I subtracted 169 and then I divided 66 by 20.
He did. Whereas she did. And one person is correct and one person is incorrect. You can have a point, by the way.
Is it? Can I try to
Does read that
explain
right?
what I'm?
Okay, go ahead, table 2.
Okay, well, there's already 22 people going, and
So you think 2 is correct or 3 is correct?
2
Because, keep going.
because if there's already 22 people going and she brings, well, it's not correct.
This method and then say not accounting for and then tell me the rest again.
This method not accounting for
The
22 already going.
yes, Nick, you can have a point. Okay, the answer is actually 2. I'm totally with the 3 people. I get your math. You subtracted off principal, last principal, and the coach, and then you said, hey, I take my number, I divide by 22, I get 3. Well, that 3 means you and your 2 friends. You're forgetting to factor in the players. So this method where we actually subtract out the players is probably better. If we subtract out the coach, the player, the pres, vice pres, principal, vice principal, vice pres, we subtract out the players, then we know there are actually 44 slots available. And if we split those 44 slots between the 22 players, they can each bring 2 guests. So I agree with Nick in that, and I like the way he said it. I don't think I wrote it exactly like he said it, but about how that method, you got to factor in the 22 going, and they're not. Now, if you thought that one was a doozy, wait till we get to this next one. We're on a roll today. Why we picked Friday to be the day that we deep drink out there. We did, though. It's awesome. Maybe next week we'll skip around and do the hard ones before Friday. Because my brain just came out on a Friday. Okay. I'm needing a little help on this one. Let me erase all my work from earlier. Took me a few minutes to figure this one out this morning. Even if you don't know how to do this one, you do know some formulas that you can help me with. What is the formula for the area of a circle? It is. Table 1 said the most confidently. Let's give them the point. Okay, and then I want the formula for circumference, which is table 2 can have the point. Okay, I really like that Nick gave me the circumference formula in terms of the radius, because I normally would have said pi times diameter, but it's good because now both our formulas have what letter? R. So technically what we have right now is the area formula in terms of the radius, because that's why there's R's in the formulas. And we have the circumference formula in terms of the radius. That's why there are R's in its formula. And what they asked us for is area in terms of the circumference. So somehow we're going to have to make the two worlds collide, so there'll be no more R's and just C's. Okay, so now we're actually going to apply something we just did, where we rearranged equations for no reason whatsoever. We were just having fun rearranging. Today they're actually going to have a point. So let's see, can we rearrange that area formula? What if I wanted to solve this formula for R? What would I do? Table 2 can have a point for that. And now what? I have A divided by pi equals R squared. Now what? Who said that? You did?
Because I thought that would be like the way to do it.
You said square root, right? Who said square root? Table 2 can have the point. We got to get rid of that 2 exponent. The way to kill that off is to take the square root of both sides. So my answer is square root of A divided by pi. That equals R. You remember how to kill off square roots. It's been a while, but you remember. Okay, and I would love to do the same thing, because now we have a formula for area of a circle, but we've rewritten it in terms of R. Now, we did that one for fun. We don't actually need that one. That one was for fun. So if you want to cross it out, you can. We don't actually need that one. That was just to prove to Miss Feldman that you can rearrange things. This is the one we need. We need to rearrange circumference equals 2 pi r. Can we solve that one for r? That's where we'll use it. Divided by 2 pi. But see, r was so much easier, and now you appreciate it more. So circumference divided by 2 pi equals r. So our plan, now that we've rearranged this formula, our plan is everywhere in the normal area formula that we see in R, instead of putting R, we're going to put C divided by 2 pi. So it used to be pi and then R squared, right? But we're saying instead of putting R squared, we're going to put C divided by 2 pi. No, I get it. That is ridiculous. And I don't really know how this formula could ever be useful to us. But the question asked us to write the formula with C's. A with C in the parentheses meant that they wanted area in terms of circumference. And now we've rewritten the formula with area in terms of circumference. Could we clear this up? Probably. We could probably clean this up, but we're going to let it go from here. However, I have not completely answered the question, because it said I was supposed to indicate the independent and the dependent variables. Does area, the way we've written this, does area depend on circumference, or does circumference depend on area? Well, the way we've written it, doesn't what number we pick for circumference, doesn't that affect what area we get? So really, area depends on circumference. Now, is that true every single time in life? Heck no. But when we wrote it like this, where the C then determines the A, it is true. So area would be the dependent because it is depending on the circumference, which is independent. Now, do I really think Justice could have done that math workshop, that question, all on his own? No. Could he come up with the 2 formulas? Yes. Could he rearrange the 2 formulas and solve for different letters? Yes. Okay, are there any questions about that one? Okay, then somewhere you wrote down your ACT stuff you were doing the other day. Somewhere you did. Surely, right? Get that out. What was the last question we did? We just did number 3. Well, today we're going to start on number 4. Today we're going to start on number 4. So if you haven't been here with us, no big deal. Just a blank piece of paper to write these down on. We're just going to work through the same test until we are happy with it. Just going to keep on working. This question, I'm going to give you the full minute, not because it's hard, but because it's got a lot of words and you're far, far away from me. So, in fact, I got to minimize my thingy. Okay, let me see. Can I do better? Okay. I will give you the full minute just because you're so far, far away from it. That is my name? Yes. Okay, if you haven't already made a decision, you need to make a decision. Okay, is there anyone who would like to share their answer to this one? Yes, table B.
J.
Okay, any table have a different dog besides J? Okay, there are 2 answer choices that I can eliminate. Does anyone know either of the 2 answer choices that I can eliminate?
F and K.
You can eliminate F and you can eliminate K, because if we find 8 on our Venn diagram, it's where some things are overlapping, so it can't be an all by myself one, and it's not dead in the middle where all 3 overlap, so it can't be K either. And then I'm going to break your heart because Cassidy's back there trying to read this the whole time. Since they gave you the diagram, you don't actually need the paragraph. All I did was find 8, and it's where Rap and Rock overlap is J. I mean, like, seconds. 8, Rap, Rock, done. Next. Sadly enough. Oh, and then the next one, I got to unfreeze the screen. The next one, it's the last one we're going to do today, but it is an absolute favorite of mine. And want to guess what kind of problem it is? Absolute favorite?
So we have to work out.
Oh, it's going to be an absolute value problem. And since you just took a quiz on that, surely to goodness you're not going to miss it. Okay. I feel like we need to call time on that one. I got someone dying to share their answer. What's their answer?
E.
The answer is E. Anyone have some math? They can show me and back it up. Anyone have some math? They can show me to back it up. You just did it in your head?
Oh no, I mean I distributed the 3, got negative 12 times 6,
Yes.
negative 7, got multiplied by 2, got 14 minus 18, and then I got negative 4.
Same. I mean, we're it's like we're the same mind. Same thoughts. If, and you're not going to tell me on there, if you got negative 32, you forgot what the absolute value was, did? So you left it as negative 7, and you had negative 14 minus 18 and got negative 32. Totally understand. I totally understand how they tricked you. Back to looking at the answer choices. So, and we're going to back to move on to the notes, I swear. But I wanted to say, we talked the other day about how Miss Compton's a pretty good guesser. And sometimes I use what I'm going to call Goldilocks logic, where I pick something, I eliminate the too big, the too small, and I pick something in the middle. And that would not work on this problem, because if I eliminate the too small, I'd eliminate the answer. So sometimes my guessing skills not so good. If you know actual math and you can do it, by God, you should. Okay, yesterday when you walked into class, there was something on the podium. Surely you picked it up. If you did not, the extra ones are by Nick's desk. Yeah, you don't pass it out. The extra ones are by Nick's desk, but I'm sure you picked it up. If not, you might want to come get it real fast. We're going to skip around because I realize my time is low. We're not going to work them all. In fact, most of them are super fast, and some people in the room already have them all done. They're that easy. Okay, we are doing inequalities today. The only thing that changes with an inequality problem and a normal equation is that there's no equal sign. We're changing to a less than, a greater than, less than or equal to, or greater than or equal to. Okay. And when I say we're going to fly and skip some, we are. The ones we don't get to today, or I will finish on Monday. Let's face it, though, my Flipsters who aren't going to be with me, I'll post the key to these notes next to Nick. I'll post the key to these notes on Google Classroom in case you want to get it all done. Okay, so I need help with number 1. Yes, dear. Help me. Okay, if you subtract 6 from both sides, we'll have B is less than 8, and we're already done with number 1. Next. Any questions on that one? We go to the next one, and yes, ma'am, help me. You can add a point for that, too. Yes, dear, help me.
You
Add
add 9.
9.
And then you divide it by 8.
Negative 6. Okay, and then you divide it by 8, and you get what? She went decimals on me. Not that that's a bad thing, but I'm trying to stay in fraction land. You can add a point for that, and then you can add a point for your help. So what I should do is simplify that. 6 over 8 reduces to negative 3 over 4. Okay, notice on our first 2 examples, if it was less than, we left it as less than. If it was greater than or equal to, we left it as greater than or equal to. We do not get to willy-nilly flip the sign for no reason. There are certain times you can flip the sign, and we are not to that yet. Are there any questions on 1 or 2? Well, let's move on to 3. How do I solve number 3?
Add 14.
Okay, add 14, then what? Okay, 2, 3, and 5 can add a point. So I have K over 3 is less than 9. Now what? Okay, Ellie, your group can add a point. If you multiply both sides by 3, you'll end up with K is less than 27. Ellie, add 1 more point. Again, I know Miss Compton is working these ridiculously fast, but it's an equation. You're good at solving equations. You've been doing it for a while. We haven't messed with the sign at all. All I'm doing is normal solving equation stuff. Okay, we get to number 4, and I would put a star by it because this is an important one. This is when we need to pay attention to. What do I do first? Oh, yes, dear. Oh, you already know the answer? Tell me the answer.
Yeah, that's what I got.
Tell me your whole inequality for 2 points.
C is greater than 5 over 3? Or
She's
less than 5?
less than.
Three.
Three less than.
And I will keep all the points for that. You're breaking my heart. It's like I kind of know it maybe. Okay, so we add 14. It is a 3. I'll give you that. So we get negative 18 is less than negative 6z. I've got to get z by itself, so I divide both sides by negative 6. You get 3 and you get a z. But as a gentle reminder, because clearly we need to be reminded, if you divide by a negative, or even multiply, if you multiply or divide by a negative, you need to flip the sign. What I don't need Nick doing is flipping the sign willy-nilly. But if you do divide by a negative, which we did, we're dividing by negative 6, you need to flip the sign. So it had been a less than, and I need to flip it to a greater than. Are there any questions about why that one's different from our other problems? Okay, and then Miss Compton's being real picky, and she's sorry for this, but every other problem we've done letter, some symbol, and then a number. So we need to rearrange this. We need it to be z, some symbol, and then a number. So if we rearrange this equation, how would it read? Z and something in a 3, but is it still greater than? It's less than, and if you don't know how to read that, I'm literally reading backwards. If I'm starting on the right, I would read z, and then that would have been a less than if I was reading backwards in 3. And you're like, Miss Kaufman, why did you do that? Well, every other problem we've done it a certain way. And then Daniel was an overachiever, and so was Karen, and they started this yesterday, and they probably graphed the solution set. That's what the directions say at the top. Miss Compton's in a hurry, and so are you. You can cross through those directions. We are not going to actually graph the solution set. You can for kicks and giggles, but we aren't actually going to. Is it good practice for your life? Yes. Have I disappointed Daniel? Yes. Okay. We will skip 5. And we will go to 6. What's the first thing I'm supposed to do on number 6? Multiply by 5. Who said it? I know Karen said it. 5. Tell 5 add a point. I thought so. Add a point. So I have negative 15x is less than or equal to, and I multiply by 5. That way that denominator will cancel out. So I have negative 15x is less than negative 4x plus 22. Is everyone good there? Okay, what do I do from here? Okay, you could add 4x to both sides, and if you add 4x to both sides, you'll have negative 11x is less than or equal to 22. So she divided by negative 11, and she got x, and then I know she had a negative 2. Is it less than or equal to or greater than or equal to? Why is it greater than or equal to? We divided by a negative. You got to flip that sign. 3, you can have a point. And Nick, you can have a point. Well, he was the one answering it to begin with. I just didn't feel like giving him credit. I'm going to skip 7 because, let's face it, if we can distribute on 8, we can distribute on 7. On number 8. Although, if you're wanting to work 5 or 7 on 5, the answer is, where is my key? I shouldn't say those things and then not tell you answers. Oh. 5, the answer is, I spilled all the things. 5, the answer is D is greater than or equal to negative 5. 7, the answer is V is less than or equal to 6. Again, I swear I'm going to post a key with all of them worked out if you're stuck on either of those. Okay, we go to number 8, and I'm supposed to distribute. So if I distribute that 3, I end up getting 3a plus 12 minus 6a minus 8 is less than 4a minus 1. Ms. Compton, this one seems pretty easy. Why are you working this one? Because there was a pretty easy one on your quiz. A lot of people I had to say, hey, you might want to check that one. When we combine our like terms on the same side of the equation, people, 3a, negative 6a, I get negative 3a. 12, negative a, I get positive 4. Why, when you combine things, are you making your life so difficult? I don't know what you're doing. I really don't. Okay, so Nick wants to add 1 from here. So if we add 1, we'll have negative 3a plus 5 is less than 4a. If we add 3a, we have 5 is less than 7a. If you divide by 7, we'll have 5 over 7 is less than a. But I'm mad at Nick because every other problem we've had, the letter, the symbol, and then the number, if I rewrite it in the order I want, it's going to be greater than. Okay, 9 and 10 I'm going to do in class on Monday. If you are an Eclipser and you won't be with me on Monday, then you need to check Google Classroom because I'm posting a key.